I mean, Ohio State, just toyed with them, and I don't even know if I'm going to bother watching that tape because they have a bye week too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm even going to bother watching it because I think Wisconsin is that bad.
Yeah, they're not.
So now here's let's get to the Florida news. Let's start with Florida State. Mike Norvell gets. They haven't won a conference game in 400 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you realize that? They have not won a conference game
they
in
haven't.
400 days. So, okay, this is Florida State. So they give him, when they worded what they were doing today, the wording was he'll be the coach for the rest of this season. That was the extent of the vote of confidence. Now let's go to Billy Napier.
Yep.
There aren't many coaches that get fired after a win.
No.
And he got fired after a win. They've had enough. So he is now out. And for Florida, the search continues. Now, they had, to me, they had, I mean, of the group that they've had, far and away the best coach they've had is Dan Mullen.
Yes.
Far and away.
Yep.
I mean, 3 New Year's, 6 bowl games, and so forth. And there was a comment he made about recruiting after a game that was completely, as usual, because again, okay. There are certain people, that aren't smart enough to realize it in covering teams.
Right.
Because there's a lot of smart people in the room. There are also some people in the room that aren't smart. Okay? There are a lot of smart people covering teams in the room. There are also a few people in the room that aren't smart. Or there are people in the room that have an agenda and they will take a comment out of context. After a loss, he said, well, somebody was asked about, effect on recruiting or something like that. He said, well, I don't want to talk about recruiting or, whatever. The point was he didn't want to talk about recruiting after a loss. Didn't want to do it. It was like, well, see, he doesn't like to recruit. Like, jeez. Like, really? Really? Not saying it's the most enjoyable thing.
No, I'm sure it isn't,
right?
Especially in the off season.
But he is far and away. But they got rid of him.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 seasons?
Yeah.
3 New Year's 6 bowl games, not good enough. All right, so he's out of coaching. Now he's at UNLV. He's undefeated. That's a shock. Dan's a great offensive mind. Not just a good offensive mind. Dan Mullen's a great offensive mind. Urban Meyer would be the first to tell you that. He was his offensive coordinator at Florida. Okay. But Florida has been, since Urban Meyer left, a program that's been twisting in the wind.
Yeah, twisting in the wind, and they've fired coaches in season, too. I think that's the other part of it. How many interim coaches have they had? Charlie Strong, Randy Shannon, I think, was interim.
Yeah.
You had, now you're going to have another one. So that's the other part of it. They've just not been able to get in sync at all. I think, Mullen, they did lose. UNLV lost Boise State Saturday, but other than that, 6-1 still. It's and he's a guy. I think he was 34-15 at Florida, which was, considering what they've had. Muschamp obviously didn't live up to expectations. No, not at all. Now this, that's.
And again, Muschamp was the hire.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He was like the hire.
Yeah.
Gotta have this guy. Defensive coordinator extraordinaire, the whole thing. He's the next big name head coach. It's not, and whatever reason, I'm not going to pretend I know the workings of a Florida football program. I don't, I mean, I know there's always the assumption that within 50 miles of a campus in Florida, you got all these athletes. I don't know. I mean, Miami's never won an ACC title. It hasn't worked for them.
No.
So I was like, okay. So now they're the latest.
Yeah.
And it sounds like at Florida State unless there's some dramatic turnaround down the stretch.
I really can't see how he can keep his job past this year. It didn't take a miracle.
Right. So Notre Dame, their pathway is now clear.
Yeah, I agree.
It would take a massive stumble for them not to make the college football playoff. It'll be hailed as one of the great coaching efforts ever, and blah 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 blah. Look, okay, USC was after the first two games. USC was their toughest game.
Yeah,
they won the game
easily. Yep.
Right. The other games were whatever. I mean, which game you sit back and go, "Ooh, what a win that was."
None. The way they
until USC.
Right. Yeah. The way they beat Arkansas, maybe, but not the win itself doesn't shock me. But yeah, that's
Arkansas had an interim head coach.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
They changed their entire defensive staff. I mean, it's like what? It's like okay, they won on the road.
Yeah,
it's an SEC
on an early
team.
start, which it's
an SEC team.
Yeah.
It's like whatever.
The win doesn't shock. I mean, the way they did, they blew them out. They dominated the game.
They were a huge favorite going into the game.
They were absolutely.
It's like.
But yeah, it's not.
Like USC was the one game you kind of looked at because USC's been playing pretty well, coming off a win over Michigan. I mean, that was great. But they've got a clear path now because the rest of their schedule is you have to be kidding me.
Yeah, still have. They do have. What they have Pitt yet, right? They should, I think.
Like I said.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm just trying to think of who they even play.
Did Pitt win over Syracuse or did Syracuse win that game? I have no idea.
That's a good question. I think Pitt did win. They were up last I checked. They had 30-13.
Hey, they beat Florida State and Syracuse their last two games, so Pitt's playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Pitt's playing well, yeah. You're going to have, Notre Dame's going to have Boston College on the road, who's they were 1-5. I don't know if they won last week.
UConn was beating them.
Yeah. So,
UConn was beating them in the fourth quarter like 30-20. Now, I don't know if UConn finished it or not.
38-23.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a game that I think's obviously a win. Yeah, you're going to have Navy. I think of who else they play. They got Syracuse.
Syracuse does not have its starting quarterback. That's a big problem.
No, well-coached team, but they're missing a starting quarterback.
Ever since he got hurt, they have not played the same.
No, they have not played the same at all.
See, I mean, that's the problem. Syracuse now has to use its backup quarterback. Now, Pitt changed quarterbacks, right? And it's worked for them the last two games, so credit to them for doing that.
Sure.
But Syracuse hasn't won a game, I don't think, since they've gone to the backup
No, I don't think so either.
Right? And, I mean, that's a problem. That's that margin of error that we talk about all the time. And that's one of the margins of error that they have right now. So, like, okay. And this is where we are.
Pitt's playing better football.
Well.
Yeah, they were competitive against Louisville.
5-2, 6-2.
Yeah, they were. And that game's going to be at Heinz, I assume, or Acrisure Stadium.
When they play Notre Dame?
Yeah, I think that is a road game for Notre Dame. So, and Pitt's always good for that one when they shouldn't win. But I still don't. I'm still not sure.
I would have put Florida State.
That's what I was going to say. I'm still think that game is going to be a tough game for Pitt. I agree with you. I think Notre Dame's got their path now set, and
I think they've got a pretty clear lane all the way through. Thanks for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones. Catch the latest from me on the 7 Mountain Sports YouTube page. Find clips of the show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook by searching up 7 Mountain Sports.